Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to do Let's Play and Initial Impressions review for Outmode VR, a game released on the Steam store June 22nd, 2022, and it has both non-VR and VR support, but I'm only reviewing the VR support for this game. It normally retails for, I believe, $11, but with the VR, there's like a package where totally comes out to a little over $15. I bought it at that price. So it has like a base game and VR DLC. So together it comes out to like a little over $15. It officially supports the HTC Vive and the Valve Index. I can confirm it works fine on the Meta Quest 2 using link cable. Beware though, motion controllers are not supported. You have to use either keyboard and mouse or a gamepad. I'm using an Xbox One gamepad. And this is like an arcade racer with an 80s retro wave neon aesthetic. And I do like the look of this game. This game might be a really good game in non-VR for all I know. But as far as the VR support, it's pretty bad. And I can't recommend this game. First thing is that obviously motion controllers aren't supported, but the second thing is that navigating the menus is very difficult. So basically, if you look at this, you can see that play is not highlighted. Garage, settings, extras, and exit are highlighted. So play is what's selected. Now, normally I would love to show you settings, but every time I've gone into settings in VR, I can't get out. So I basically only mess with the settings in non-VR in this game, because once I get into settings in VR, I can't get out. The second thing with this game is that you see there's a tutorial here. That does not work in VR. So you get some pop-up messages in non-VR, but you cannot see them in VR, so you can't do the tutorial in VR. Let's go ahead and race. And here I can't see what it's selected. Solo or duo, I have no idea, but I assume it's solo, so we're just going to press A on our Xbox One gamepad and just hope that's what's selected. As you can see, there are 7 different tracks, and there's one more coming soon, hopefully. Some are medium, some are hard difficulty. You can change the difficulty. Let's start off with Starlight Nightway. And we only have the Copernicus vehicle. The others are locked. Now here I have difficulty navigating the menu as well. So transmission is manual, which is what we want. Difficulty is easy. We're going to choose medium difficulty for our next race, but I want to see. I can't tell what's selected right now. Okay, I think rival amount is okay. Great. As you can tell, it's very difficult to see what's selected, so it's very difficult to navigate the menu. Now, another big problem with this game is that I had to lower the graphics. So I think by default this game is runs on medium graphics quality. That's on my RTX 3080. But on medium graphics quality, I was getting variable frame rates. I mean, sometimes it would be at 90, but it would drop to 45 very often, and then it would go all the way to 5 frames per second. Yes, you heard that correctly. 5 frames per second, and at that point the game was just unplayable. So I don't recommend this game for that reason, because you do have to go all the way to low graphics quality. Now, the good news is that on low graphics quality, I am getting mostly 90 frames per second, so that's good, but there is a very stark difference between medium and low graphics quality. It's just a whole lot blurrier. There's like a double image, and there's just some graphical glitches that make the game not as pleasant to look at. So although it may not seem like it, there is a big difference between even medium and low. I don't know how this game would run on ultra or high. Probably even worse than medium, but on medium it's just unplayable, so you have to go to low. There's also VHS quality, but I would imagine that would look very bad in VR, so you have to pretty much select low graphics quality, and that, again, that's on my RTX 3080, so this game is not well optimized at all. And there's just, because of the low graphics quality, there's just some blurriness, very low resolution, and just especially on the edges of the roadway, you can tell just how blurry it looks. And Another thing is just how the scales are off. So this vehicle actually looks like you're like on a boat or something. It's just the scales are just horribly off, and just the combination of those things, you know, the low resolution, the blurriness, the double image, all of those issues together make this game, oh wow, taking some hits there. You want to avoid those if possible. And again, there's like a nice looking aesthetic to this game, but it's also hard to see the road, and just the scales are off. It really takes away from the immersion from this game. There's some issues there also where on the road where the vehicle will bounce up and down. We really haven't seen that yet, but it might happen. Oh, here it is. You see that? See how the road is moving up and down real quickly, like it's bouncing, like you're driving on a bouncing road. It's not pleasant. It's pretty ugly to look at it, in fact. And just, yeah, all these issues take away from the enjoyment this game might otherwise have. It's really immersion breaking. And like I said, I like the art style. I think this would be a cool racer if it just functioned properly in VR, but it really doesn't. The menus are difficult to navigate. You got poor optimization. Because of the poor optimization, you have to choose low graphics quality. And on low, the game just doesn't look good at all. And you have some graphical glitches, like there, the road bumping up and down. And it's also difficult just to see the road, period, sometimes, with some of the curves of the road, some of the verticality of the road. You see the road bouncing up and down. Not good. So, at the end of the day, this is a poor VR support for this game. Poor VR port, poor VR support. And for those reasons, I just can't recommend this game for VR. Again, this is only for VR. This might be a nice game in non-VR. I really haven't played it too much in non-VR, so I can't really comment on that. But I can say that the VR experience is not good at all, so I can't recommend it. Even like I said, even navigating the menus is a pain, but the good news is on low, at least on low, it runs on 90 frames per second, at least that. So that's one good thing. At least on low, it's playable, but on medium graphics quality, it's not playable. And again, I'm on an RTX 3080, so I can just imagine some of the other graphics cards. Okay, I think play is selected. And again, we're doing race again. We're doing solo again. And let's choose Neon Mountains. There's 2 laps here. Okay. 1 rival, that's fine. You know, it's hard to select the menu here. I can't even tell sometimes what's selected or not. The music is good, I think. You know, I like the 80s retro sound and look of this game. It's pretty cool, in fact. It's just the scales are off, and I have to have it on low, and that causes issues, you know, where it's just blurry and not the best to look at, and the scales are off, so it really takes away a lot of enjoyment I might otherwise have with this racing game. There is a mechanic where you shift your gears, and basically what I'm doing is I'm holding the left shoulder button, and then at the same time I'm moving my right stick to kind of mimic shifting gears, which is, I'm sure it's a cool mechanic for non-VR, but for VR it's kind of meh. You know, we'd like to use our motion controllers on the steering wheel, and then also to change the shift, so to shift the gear on the vehicle. So, you know, for VR, it's not a good mechanic. Although I'm sure it's pretty neat in non-VR to do that, but it's not immersive in VR because you're not using your motion controllers. So I would like to see better VR support. You know, better optimization. You know, this should run fine on high graphical settings or even ultra graphical settings on my RTX 3080. I shouldn't have to put it all the way down to low graphical settings just to get it to run And again, it does run fine. Like, it's 90 frames per second, which is good for the most part. I think there's been a few frame rate drops, so for the most part, it's 90 frames per second. But it's just not playable even on medium, so that's pretty bad. And yeah, I mean, the cockpit view needs to be better. The tracks need to be better laid out for VR, because you can't even see the track a lot of the times with some of the elevation shifts in the road. But, it does look cool, like, there's a cool art style to this that I really like. It's got cool tunes as well. I did lower the music volume because it was too loud by default. So I don't know if you guys can hear the music or not. But I lowered the volume because it was too loud and I couldn't even hear myself. So I lowered the music volume. In case you can't tell, there is a turbo button. I don't think I've used it a whole lot. Let me use the turbo right here. Well, I have to use the turbo, so there's the turbo. I'm using the boost. And now we're gonna have to lower our speed here. And we have no more boost now. You can also drift. I don't know how well the drift look. To me, the drift doesn't work great. That's the kind of sense I get from this. But as you can see, there's lots of dangers on the road. You can turn them off, but I like to have them on. And obviously, we can put more opponents on the road if we wanted to, but I have a hard time navigating the menu, so that was difficult to do. And that was difficult to see. There was like some fire, but again, the effect wasn't good in VR, and I had trouble seeing it just because of the way it looked in VR. We've got to avoid the puddles here if we can. We may not be able to avoid all the obstacles. Okay. And our vehicle is like catching fire right now. I don't know if you guys can tell that. It's hard to tell in VR, but as you can see there, the flame is going under. I'm sure that looks better in non-VR. That looks kind of silly in VR, though. It's kind of like a funny looking effect. So my initial impressions, like I said, I don't recommend this game. I think it's a poor VR support for this game. It needs much better VR support before I could recommend it. And if I have to rate it now as is, I would give this a 3.5 out of 10. It's just bad. I thought about refunding this game, but I'm not going to do that. Hopefully the dev fixes the VR support, and so I could recommend it in the future. Obviously, I spent $15 of my own money, so I hope it gets fixed. But I would say this is definitely a wait for a patch that fixes the VR before buying this. Don't buy this right now at any price, because, like I said, it's basically almost not playable in VR. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. This has been my Let's Play Initial Impressions review for Outmode, just the VR, not the non-VR. If you enjoyed my video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.